The new channel. The new channel.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon. Hello and welcome to the new channel. We are here not only to help you see the new you, but be the new you. I am Jesse Francis Rebustillo, live streaming from Arcela Village here in Paranaque City, and you're watching the Season 8, Episode 129 of the HR Hotline. As I mentioned last time, for this week, we just tackled one topic, which is what or how should HR do now that we are in a lockdown? Leaders. And a lot of insights and thoughts were contributed on what we are supposed to do. But I am still, in Tagalog, call that bitin. I am not yet satisfied because there are a lot of things that we still need to do while we are extending all this ECQ, MECQ practically. We are still, generally speaking, on a lockdown or on a work from home mode or in what we call AWA, the alternative working arrangements, or in what we call the hybrid. We will discuss that might be next week. But at this time, let us converse on what we are supposed to do now that we are on a lockdown. And since it is a Saturday, we are going to converse a little bit lightly on more inclined to the personal things that we need to do as leaders. I can see Gemma is here. Gemma, I was inviting you to be part of those in the screen because Gemma, I invited PPO. But can we now have past president of the People Management Association of the Philippines? He was a year ahead of me and he was my mentor, and he's still a consultant of San Miguel Corporation, Mr. Roberto Obet Policarpio. Direct, and we have Mr. Obet Policarpio so that we can have the conversation already? Yes, 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 yes. I
Hello!
mentioned
Hello, my dear friend. Magandang
we are,
tanghali. Lalo na sa
we are
mga
both we are both
tagapakinig.
in red. We are both in red.
Yes. Kamusta?
Yes. Mabuti naman. The reason why I invited some of you so that I can see you on screen. I miss you. I
Me too,
actually,
me too.
it is so funny. This is a little bit personal, but it's so funny. Our email exchanges with past president and attorney JBJ on our role as Elecom of PMAP. You know what I really, I am a writer, but sometimes tinatamad ako magsulat. But you write so nice. But alam mo, Pipio, but ang natutuwa ko, para tayong mga
Bakit?
nag-romance. Si Atty. JBJ, si Edie Rene at ikaw, ang mga ending, I love you.
Di ba, PP Jesse, natatanda mo during my term in 2015, I
Yes.
always made it a point, every time I give a speech, I end the GMM, all my speaking engagement, from the heart, I always tell people, I love you. Before telling God bless.
Ay, teka muna,
It's
si
really
Jay
from
may,
my heart.
PPO, but can you, because you're, para tayo na dito dalawa, you are my co-host ngayon. Si Jemay at si Mr. Ryan Navarro of Davao ay ating nandiyan, no? Na they're
Uh,
watching us. They're watching us. Okay, so let's start the conversation. Mamaya, malalim-lalim kasi bitin pa ako doon sa what should HR and leaders do, and you gave a lengthy thought last time. Pero personal muna. I am already a consultant and I am actually semi-retired and I'm home, but I know you are still in corporate. You are very lucky, PP of it. So, personally, what do you do now that you are on a lockdown? And I would like to
well,
ask it also to Jemai and to Ryan. Yes.
well, basic. I have to take good care of myself, because if I don't take good care of myself, how can I take good care, first and foremost, my loved ones, my dear friends, and the people that I am working with as a servant to most, no, in the HR community. When I say taking good care of myself, first and foremost is my spirituality. That's the
Wow.
foundation of all aspect of
Wow.
my wellness. Di ko
Wow.
unang-unahin yung physical, yung spirituality muna. Because that is permanent. Not only in this world, but even after my life in this world.
Let me continue that. A lot of people are mentioning of mental health, MH, ang tawag nila ngayon MH. And ang mental health is actually the well-being, the total well-being of the person, but most especially yung tawag natin spirituality, kasi 'di ba it's about mental. So what do you do actually? Literally, what do you do? You pray. Ako, I pray the rosary every day.
Well, of course, we have different forms of communicating. No?
Yes.
And when we say communicating, that is through prayer. So as
Yes.
long as we do it from the heart, and that is a personal conversation between yourself and God. No? And whatever you have discerned, then you have to make the right decision based on discernment. No? Because first and foremost, you really have to do more for others and less for yourselves, but without neglecting the
Okay.
essentials of how you can take good care of your wellness.
Can we spot on direct Mr. Ryan Navarro? Chong Ryan. Yes. Wow, I'm thinking of early retirement. Nakikinig muna ako sa inyo on how to be continuously happy and productive post-retirement. Both of us are retired, Mr. Navarro. Yung mga kaibigan mo, si PP Owet and I are retired, but I am doing things, consultancy, I'm very much involved in that, and webinars, just go PP Owet, almost daily. And si PP Owet, can you mention, PP Obet, your engagement with San Miguel?
Actually, wala pa akong 60 years old. Kita naman, di ba?
Ba't nag-early retirement ka?
Di ba? Pero, kailangan tuloy pa rin. Talagang ganon. Like a chapter of the book.
And you're happy ngayon, PP Obet. I can sense it. You are happy.
Naman. I think God really planned. No, I planned, but there's a higher plan for me. No, kaya nga,
Ayan ka na naman, spirituality talaga, spirituality. Okay.
Hindi ko
Okay.
naman pinili itong assignment ko where I am now. No, bigla ko na sinabi.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Navarro of Davao, Ryan. Kaibigan natin natin si Ryan na kasama
Oo
natin doon sa
naman.
prayer.
Teka,
Oo.
Kadayawan kahapon sa Davao. I miss the Kadayawan.
Yun nga eh, ako
Yesterday,
rin.
it was a
When when
Kadayawan
I
na...
when I was in in Inquirer, every time na may kadayawan, nandiyan ako, PPO.
Oo nga, di ba?
Namimiss.
Ang saya.
Ay, pero by the way, balik tayo doon sa our love for our spirituality. Today is the feast day of Nuestra Señora de Salvacion, the
Yes,
patron
I read
saint
it
of.
in your FB. FB
Yes,
post.
yes. And you know, I was attending the mass of Bishop Bong. Ay, iyakin ako. I was crying because I was really missing Huruan. You know that's in Huruan. Okay, can we read what Jemai Duque posted here? Jemai? Now I don't really go out unless really necessary, so I also take care of my well-being by just having fun with my family at home. I make TikTok videos, read books, watch movies, and yes, pray and reflect on what this current pandemic is experiencing means to me. Right, right. So,
Tama. I agree with Gemma. Teka, Gemma, si Gemma, gustong-gusto ko yung mga sharing nito sa HR hotline. Thank you, Gemma. I'm also inspired by your comments.
yeah, she is an HRBP, at that very young age. She's an HRBP, and I know inistok ko yung PPO, but and I know she's doing her job awesomely well. Pero let's go back to yung sa spirituality kasi that's actually the foundation, di ba? Di ba, PPO? You're right,
Oo naman.
di ba? Then after that, siguro you go to your physical, right
Tama.
diet, right
Yes,
diet,
right diet, right sleep, etc., etc. But in between spirituality and the physical aspect, it's the mind over matter.
What do
Kasi
you do? You read?
when you pray and when you read the Word of God, we have to reflect and internalize, but not become too intelligent about what's happening and what you're reading.
Oh,
It's
magiging
more of
philosophy.
reflection, di ba? Reflection eh. Kasi if we rationalize whatever we read and everything, syempre, baka maging analysis paralysis yan. So,
Yeah, that's true.
diba?
That's true. Pero you have time to read other kasi let's share this. So at this time dapat HR and leaders should be reading. Ano mga suggested mga reading materials that they should do aside from the Bible ha? Ako I
Kasi,
read about
yes, because the Bible is really the foundation of all leadership principles. And we all know that, right? Oo.
mm,
So ngayon,
yeah.
ang daming available materials. And in fact ako, during my free time, in between, while answering emails, coordinating, ang hirap nga very challenging, di ba? Kasi wala nga tayong F2F eh. So, mas matindi ang communication requirement. So, in between, I read. And information and data is already in our fingertips using technology.
Madali.
Madali siya, di
So
ba? And
I think what should leaders and HR do that in their spare time if they still have spare time they aside from spirituality yung mental and then they really read to update themselves, di ba?
correct, kasi we cannot give what we don't have. So we feed our minds also, no, with other stuff that we will need. And today, leadership, it's not more of the what's written in the book. There are a lot of things that a leader can do that is not written.
Yeah, that's adaptive learning. Anong masasabi
Yes,
mo?
yes.
Dapat ba mag-attend sila ng webinars o dapat supported by reading also?
At ano yan, samut-sari yan. Just imagine, you really have to have everything that you need in your toolbox.
Yes.
So, no matter how simple these things inside your toolbox, there will come a time that you will use these things. But you need also to do an inventory and upgrade whatever you have in your toolbox. And
Yes, yes.
I believe it's important yung number one, yung connection beyond
Yes.
your circle of influence and
Yes.
your comfort zone. Yung connection, especially using technology. Because
Yeah.
in connecting with others beyond your comfort zone and your circle of influence, that is where you will heighten your communication.
Yeah,
And
it's
through the
right.
communication process, the more that you will expand your web of relationship, that leads
Yes.
me to collaboration. So three
Yeah.
words:
Ang
connection,
tawag
communication,
ang,
collaboration.
ang tawag niyan is actually you're now adopting hindi adapting you're now adapting what you read and then using it now to your what you call yung relationship management. Di ba yung connection relationship management. At diyan na
Yes.
rin ang foundation yung sinasabi natin pakikipagkapwa at malasakit, di ba? So, Gemma here, something may sinabi si Gemma, can we spot it on direct? Agree. Reading keeps us well informed, educated, and help us do our jobs better as HR practitioner. Gemma, can you give suggestions of reading materials that they should read now? For HR. Alam ko you are younger than both of us dito So pagbigyan natin sila ng mga suggestion. Now going back doon sa sinasabi mo PP Obet. So we are now going into from spirituality to mental and then relationship. That is what we are leading to, di ba? And
Yeah.
then I mentioned about the foundation of malasakit is actually kapwa. Now, what are your thoughts? Di ba nandun pa rin siyang things to do ha? What are your thoughts that we are on a virtual situation, virtual mode? Then we are telling us na dapat mag-reach out at magkaroon ng relationship, ng what do you call this? Communication. What are your thoughts on this? Na,
Eh,
na, na, gaya nito na I miss you. So gusto ko nung makita yung mukha mo. Now I'm happy. So what are your thoughts on this?
Ako, mas maganda, alam mo naman tayo mga Pilipino, talagang likas sa atin yung ating pagiging kapwa-tao. Iba pa rin yung nakikita mo. That's why whenever I communicate to our dear friends, as much as possible, I ask permission. Oh, pwede ba tayong mag-video call?
Yeah,
Kasi
yeah, yes.
ikaw, alam mo yan, di ba? Mas
Yes, yes.
maganda eh. Tsaka mahirap din sometimes you are restricted, no, by the four corners of your house or your room. So iba pa rin yung may nakikita ka, diba?
Yeah. And then besides, di ba, that is what I mentioned, diyan makikita kung meron kang malasakit. Di ba, everybody is telling about empathy, everybody's, paano ka naman mag-empathy, hindi ka nga nag-reach out. Di ba?
Oo, totoo yun. Tsaka alam mo, when you reach out, you also learn something in the process. You
Yeah.
discover, in fact, beyond the learning. No?
Yes, yes. Yeah, yung ang nakikita ko nga the foundation of malasakit is actually yung pakikipagkapwa. And now, sabi, makisilamuha ka, makiisa. So I think the mere fact that just like you checking on me, 'di ba? Kumusta ka na, bro? That I think that should be enough, but this should be heightened more if you are actually in a leader subordinate arrangement siguro.
O nga,
Anong thoughts
kaya
mo?
nga, alam mo, as a leader, dapat we have different ways of reaching out. Kaya nga, ako, I don't really use the word checking. Sometimes the word checking has a different meaning, di ba?
Right.
So, kailangan lagyan mo muna ng personal touch mo. I believe each one of us has its own branding in reaching to our people. So, all the more, a leader, talagang dapat, alam mo kasi mahirap i-assume na lahat tayo work from home.
Mhm.
Huwag mo ikumpara yung kung meron ako doon sa iba o yung meron iba sa akin kasi magkakaiba yung ating sitwasyon. Diba? Pero more than that, it's really yung kamustahan rather than the checking one another. The kamustahan. Diba? Mas maganda yung kamusta ka. Diba?
It is actually a problem kasi I mentioned that earlier. Alam mo, PPO, but merong mga, I know, not PIMA, but there's another association wherein some of the guys, ganun din sa PIMA. And then some companies na people are actually parang they don't like anymore they are being checked on while working from home.
Ay, meron ka.
Di ba? They don't like it. Ano, para bang, para bang bumalik yung timekeeping eh. Bumalik yung
Oh,
timekeeping. Yung pam 9
na,
o'clock.
na dapat hindi. So I think the work from home approach reminds each and everyone that we really have to be responsible and accountable to our own self by being trustworthy, yung
Right.
pinagkakatiwalaan. Kasi
Mhm.
kaakibat yan ng pakikipagkapwa-tao. Diba?
Yes. Yung para bang
Kasama
ano
yan
kay
ng,
yung talagang the full extent of accountability. Yung sinasabi ko sa nagtuturo ako niyan yung hindi lang responsibility, the sense of responsibility that you hugutin mo where the authority came from and you ended up with the accountability. That you're accountable, di ba? Ikaw ay nag-apply, ikaw ay magtrabaho, manungkulan, hindi ka na dapat i-coach at i-remind na dapat i-submit mo yung report mo. Di ba dapat ganun, VP Obet?
tama. Oo, kasi alam mo, deadlines are deadlines. Diba? KPIs are KPIs. You know
Yes.
that. Kaya lang, this period is one of a kind. So, we really have to, you know,
So,
yun nga, sabi
siguro,
ko na empathize.
VP Obet, siguro what HR and leaders should do is really go back and review the job descriptions and the KRAs.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then just remind everybody that this is your KPI and you have to be trusted for this.
Correct. Ngayon, pakita mo na ikaw, talagang katiwa-tiwala. Remember the parable of the talents. Right? Alam natin yan. Another is the lost sheep. Out of the 99, there is one lost sheep. Diba? So, the good shepherd talagang ensures that the 99 are safe. But he made an effort to look for that one lost sheep. Diba? Hindi naman niya kasalanan na nawala siya eh.
Pero ang mahirap
Pagka-
niyang PPO, but di ba, yung synchronous and asynchronous, you meet them all together and you meet them in one-on-one. Ang mahirap niyan, yung iba talaga, deliberately, nagdi-disappear eh. Hindi, oo. So yan ang problema nito. Problema nitong
kasi nga, baka meron nga pinagdadaanan. Di ba?
balik naman tayo dun sa relationship. Dapat mag-reach out yung leader.
Oo, alam mo, lalo ngayon, baka mamaya mayroong pamilyang may sakit o may alagang aso or ibon o pusa na nagkasakit. Siyempre, mahal mo yun eh. Di ba?
Yeah, and at the time, you were expected na dapat mag-usap kayo, mag-report. Di ba? Okay. Can you spot on muna direct si Jemay? Jemay has already suggestions here on the books that she's reading now. Yes, I am currently reading Mark Manson's book, The Subtle Art. It helps people focus on what is important and ignore the negativity around us. It makes me feel more confident about myself and worry less on what other people think about me. Wow, what a nice book. Sige, hanapin ko rin yan na libro na yan. You know, we continue with what our discussion, conversation, PP Obet, with ito yung yung sinabi rito ni Jamay. It makes me feel more confident about myself and worry less about the people think about me. Yes, we were talking about yung synchronous nga, what do you call this? Screen. Di ba gaya ngayon tayo nag-uusap tayo, you are there, at ako nandito. Naka-question nga, PPO bet yung confidence, no? Kasi paano na yung talagang nagkiklaim that I am shy? Tapos hindi nagsasalita. At ngayon, nandiyan ka ngayon sa screen. Kaya tama nga itong binabasa ni Jema. Anong thoughts mo yan? Di ba, ang dami kaya akong namimit kahit ng mga HR. Shy ako. Ito lang I've been inviting people to be with us. Just imagine na camera shy daw siya, she is not ready. Anong thoughts mo yan? PPO, but ano dapat gawin? Ngayon, ito na nga that you really have to be on screen. So, camera ready ka dapat and you must be able to talk your thoughts. Anong thoughts mo dyan?
Well, there's always a first time. No? Tayo naman, hindi naman tayo sanay sa mga ganitong methods, di ba? Kaya hindi naman tayo nag-artista. Dapat wala tayo sa HR profession. Oh. Pero kinakailangan umaayon tayo. We go with the times. Umaayon. Kaya alam mo, itong ginagawa mong programa, itong HR Hotline, together with Lloyd Luna, the TNC, nasubaybayan ko to from day one of the TNC. This is a very effective tool. Sa akin, meron akong ginagamit yung word, yung phrase na usap tayo. Again, usap tayo. Ano ibig sabihin ng usap tayo? You, ugnayan. Diba? Kailangan nag-uugnayan tayo sa bawat isa.
Yes.
Diba?
Na
akma.
Yes.
Sa panahon.
Mm-hmm.
So, ibig sabihin, pwede tayong mag-usap ngayon dahil hindi napapanahon. Pwede kasi meron ka ibang kausap kasi mas may nangangailangan. At alam mo naman, si Pipi Obet, si Brother Obet, okay naman siya. Nakikita ko sa social media. Okay. Pero parang isang buwan ko na hindi nakikita si Pipi Obet nagpo-posting sa social media, sa FB. Ano kaya nangyari sa kanya? So, it would only take 30 seconds, diba? To say hi and hello. Ang ganon, yun yung usap tayo. Yun ang ibig sabihin ko. Na ugnayan, meron tayong samahan tayo na akma sa panahon. May kanya-kanya tayong mga kind of groupings and associations. Ngayon, siyempre, yan yung sinasabi kong web of relationships. Of relationships.
And these are actually the things that you must do now. Kasi yan ang topic natin, no? Pero may nabasa lang po ako, Pipi Obet, sa FB, na the paradox of ang dami mong FB friends, pero konti lang talaga yung true friends mo. Anong thoughts mo yan? Kaya dapat siguro mag-uusap kayo Di ba mag-uusap? Kasi di ba baka yung friends mo ito lang yung nagla-like lang at nagsasabi lang ng nakakatuwa. There are times na nag-post na it's the birthday of my sister. Hindi mo nang kilala yung sister. Nag-happy birthday ka. so parang your friends technically on FB, pero hindi naman talaga kayong totoong friends. So I agree with you na dapat talaga mag-reach out at mag-usap. Yung totoong friends, no?
Yes. Kasi alam mo naman yung friendship, that is the start of any relationship. But it takes two to tango. So when you dance, di ba, nag-uusap yan sa mata, sa paghawak ng kamay. Yan
hindi pa pwede natin magawa ngayon. Hindi pa pwede magawa ngayon.
Hindi mo magagawa physically, but there's a way for you to express that. Kaya di ba sabi nga yung 5 languages of love. Alam natin yan, 5 languages of love. So, it takes one to know one. So, kailangan makita mo, ano pa ang language of love mo and language of your friends. Tapos, yun na nga, nasa pag-cultivate mo yan
So the third point that you're telling us is actually communication. Things to do is actually communicate. And I know you do that. Di ba? Personally, you do that to me. You communicate to me and you do that to the rest. So yung unang nakikita ko, what you're sharing with us, PP Obit, is that it's spirituality, then that one of some mental exercises, and the third one is actually communication and trying to reach out to people and then be able to have good relationship. So ladies and gentlemen, what we are discussing, things that you need to do as a leader during a lockdown. And we're listening it so comfortably, munchable thoughts coming from PP Obet. PP Obet.
Biglaan to, di ba?
Yun naman. Now, kasama dyan, PP Obet, I know you have programs on this. Kailangan nung leader mag-coach. Gaya ba sa akin, even here at home, sa aking katulong, nagko-coach ako. At mag-mentor. What are your thoughts on this? And after that, we have a break and then we continue our conversation.
O eto, narinig mo na sa akin to. Di ba? Yung one of my favorite Latin phrases. Nemo dat quodon habet. I cannot
Yes.
give what I don't have. We cannot give what we don't have. So, first and foremost sa akin, before I can coach and mentor others, I have to be coached first and be mentored
Mismo!
by
Naku,
someone.
lumakas yung boses ko. Tama iyon. Spot on ka doon. Spot on ka. Dapat ititrain muna yung magko-coach, di ba?
Wag natin i-assume na kung someone is in a managerial position or in a supervisory post, wag natin i-assume automatic mentor yan o coach. No. Hindi yung lahat ganon. Kaya nga pinag-defy ko.
Natutuwa ako sa iyo na yung thoughts mo na dapat maalam niya muna yung DNA. Galing yan sa iyo. Yan ang sinabi mo sa akin. Dapat hindi
Sige,
ka pwedeng nandyan ka sa posisyon. Pwede ka lang magturo. Tama, tumpak.
Totoo yan. Alam mo, minsan marami ka ngayon nakikita nagwe-webinar na ramdam ng participants yan. Na, teka, ito bang tinuturo sa akin hugot sa libro o hugot sa experience?
Yes. Yes.
But of
Hindi ba yung
course, the
sinasabi-
combination of the two is important.
Yes.
Your experience is founded on principles, on norms.
Ipapasok ko ito para masabihin naman na matalino ako, Pipi Obit, na dyan yung difference
Matalino
yung
ka naman talaga.
yan yung difference between algorithms and holistic. Ang gustong sabihin
Oo,
po ni Pipi Obit, dapat holistic dapat experience yung algorithm lang yun napag-aralan mo lang yun Ay, before we have the break, kasi alam ko na, i-spill ko na naman, kasi dumaan ka sa formation in the seminary. Matagal. Di ba?
8 years.
So ganun din ang siguro gusto mo sa mga leaders and then trainers. Dapat dumaan din ang formation. Tama ba ako?
Tama. And the formation, even if you're the company president, ikaw na sana all, di ba? Dapat ang leader in the strict sense, patuloy pa rin yung formation niya. Bumababa sa shop floor. Nandoon siya where the action is. Hindi yung, di ba? Galing na ako dyan sa baba. Ba't pa ako magpapakainit, magpapakapasa?
Hindi. Ay, ang ganda talaga. Okay, dyan tayo mag-uumpisa, Pipi Obet, ha? Ang ganda. Kasi I know of a lot of companies, organizations, and even associations. May nakaluklok doon, pero medyo kulang nga. Kasi nga, yun, wala yung DNA. And besides, paano ito kung yun na yung nagtuturo? Kasi we are discussing about coaching and mentoring. So we go back on that. Thank you very much. This is a very interesting conversation. Yung nakikinig po rito, can you share so that a lot of you will also hear about this and also share in the chat box kasi we are going to read it and then you can add to our conversation with past President Obet Policarpio. Direk, can we have the first break, please? Direk. Yes, we're back. And can we have PPO? But because we have a very wonderful, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the TNC is a live stream platform on online shows for people on the go. We are inviting you to watch all our shows as seen in our screen. We aim to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our mission is to become a community where passionate people accept each other, share inspiration, and promote positive transformation. Our vision is to be a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Yes, of course. Don't forget to watch and support HR Hotline 3 times a week and be in touch by lunch date every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 12 noon. You can watch us live or on replay. If you would like to have our own show or would you like to sponsor my show, please contact our channel through a private message. More upcoming shows, follow TNC on Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms. Enjoy our life changing shows because we made them for you. So let's go back to PP Orbit and then enjoy the rest of the day of the hour of our lunchtime on this discussion. We were discussing about the relationship of a coach and a mentor, and then we were mentioning you mentioned PP Orbit that it doesn't mean that you are in a position you can really do the role because you need a lot of training and a lot of knowing the DNA. So let's continue po.
Yes, yes. I think beyond the training, yung binabanggit ko kanina, you have to go down always part of the continuous formation. Ito yung grounding, di ba?
Yes.
Make
Yes.
your feet be on the ground as we know that.
Okay.
Yan ang how we do.
I-dissect natin PP Obit on this kasi this is what HR should do. One thing, one thing I noticed and which I do now in my webinars, a lot of companies, when you ask them if they have coaching and mentoring, they will tell you mayroon. Pero it was not actually set up yung talagang may structure yung coaching and mentoring. So ang mahirap nito kasi people are asked to do it kasi you are in position, you are a manager, you are a senior manager, then you don't even know on the structure. Kung may bylaws ba yan, may guidelines ba yan. So you continue doing it kasi na-train ka to do it, pero hindi mo naman alam if there are some. So that's the other one. The other one naman on the stakeholder, on the role of the, di ba dapat mentee-led, mentor-led, coachee-led, or coachee-led. Ang mahirap nun, yung they are parang doing it, but kulang. They don't, yung tinatawag PPO bet na a conscious unconscious incompetence. Hindi sila conscious na sila ay incompetent for that. What are your thoughts on that?
Alam mo, that's a reality.
Kaya mo na, parang malaman ng mga tao. Ganito po kami mag-usap ni PPO. But a lot of times we were seated sa plane, sa pagkain. Ganito po kami mag-usap. Talaga nagcha-challenge kami sa So, PPO, anong masasabi mo doon sa aking karumal-dumal na mga thoughts ngayon?
Natatandaan mo nung pumunta tayo sa Butuan, no? 4 o'clock in the morning. Sabi ni Pipi Jessie, hanggang nakarating na kami doon. Walang pahinga. Ang pahinga lang yung 30 minutes. So, I also organized a radio talk. Natatanda mo yung radio talk?
Yes.
At in between, we visited the San Miguel Church. Diba?
Yes.
Lahat ng pasero tulog, kami hindi.
Kaya makakala nila, hindi tayo ganito ang usapan natin. No, ngayon, anong tingin mo yan? One is, yung HR at hindi nakapag-set up. Yung pangalawa naman, yung gumagawa naman, napaka-feeling, pero naman kulang. Anong thoughts mo dyan? Anong dapat gawin? Sige nga.
Alam mo, by default, given this pandemic period, saludo ko sa HR, not because I'm an HR, no? Everyone who has people is an HR practitioner. Again, everyone who has people is an HR practitioner.
Oo,
Kaya
the people management.
saludo ko sa mga HR, mga HR,
Yes.
saludo ko. Dapat nangunguna tayo as people manager, no? To set up this. At isang taon na po ang lumipas. At
Yep.
diyan dapat natin itap ang HR department, particularly the OD, no, the training and development practitioner, the LND, the HR manager. Dapat kara-karaka nakapag-set up na tayo kaagad in many forms and using technology. Especially yung mga newly promoted prior to the pandemic. Di ba? So yan, dapat nakaka-catch up na tayo dyan. And we need the champion. Who is the champion? The big boss of the organization.
Right.
Yun ang champion dyan. Eh madali na nga akong mag-develop ng tao. But other than conducting it through webinar, there must be an honest to goodness follow-up, yung follow-through. So, kailangan mag-replicate ka ng mga tao. Not necessarily a manager or a supervisor. Someone who has that innate leadership, yung innate leadership. Because for you, someone to become a leader, you don't need a position.
Yeah. So what I gathered from you is, one, dapat nagawa na o ginagawa na ng HR at ng leaders, kasi hindi lang naman HR, na set up na dapat yung coaching or mentoring program. One is, dapat may curriculum yan eh. Anong topic? Gaya mo ngayon, ano ba ang topic na dapat ano yan eh? Calibrated yan eh. At this time, yung lahat ng mga mentors or mentees, ito ang pinag-uusapan, and then the way they are going to ask questions. So, dapat may curriculum. Tapos, ang pinaka-importante, pipiapat na nakita ko, yung sinasabi mong walang training the trainers. Dapat iti-train nyo at this time. Dapat iti-train mo yun eh. At ang mahirap iti-train, yung kung mentoringan, itong mga executives na hindi naman sila actually updated or abreast on say sa CBIT, yung competency-based interview technique. And then ang nakikita ko rin sa sinabi ni PP Obet is that yung reporting, baga mentor ng mentor, wala namang katuturan, hindi naman nakokolate, na-relate. Yun ang nakikita ko.
Ano nabanggit mo kanina, kung if these people are not properly trained by seasoned practitioner, baka imbis na nakakapag-mentor, lumalabas tormentor.
Yeah. Totoo.
You cannot make them at fault kasi, kumbaga, they just go to the flow. Kaya ang HR manager, the HR executive, or the HRO, kailangan mabasa niya yung mind ng CEO, the big boss, no? Kasi
alam mo, PPO, but pinapadalan ako ng kopya parati ni, if you recall, our friend, past President Ernie Cecilia, and he's still right. Yeah. See, before, diba, he was writing for me in Inquirer, now he's writing in Manila Times. And then he mentioned recently yung hybrid, yung what are the way, ito rin ang topic niya, what are the things that you need to do. One is actually institutionalizing the hybrid. Ang question daw nung hybrid ngayon is that yung mga executive mismo, PPO, ang mindset ay hindi matanggap-tanggap yung hybrid.
Kasi nga parang work from home lang yan dati.
Oo.
Executive naman, hindi ko naman nila lahat. But, dati, walang naniniwala sa work from home in the Philippine setting. But work from home, matagal ng practice yan, hindi lang during the pandemic. In other countries, di ba? Ngayon, tingnan mo. Kaya kinakailangan, sabi ko nga, sino yung champion ng HR dyan? No less than the big boss.
Dapat. Diba? Kasi paano siya mag-mentor, paano siya mag-coach kung ang mindset niya mismo hindi nag-change?
Ayun yun. Kaya nga, Nemo that quote doon, Abet, how can you become an effective, good mentor kung wala ka nun? Diba? So baka dapat i-mentor muna yon yung supposedly dapat nagme-mentor. O,
Yeah.
sino
And then,
magme-mentor? Kaya nga,
at ang mahirap kasi dapat magka-catch up kasi it should start with say communication skill, yung asking question, yung mga alam ko na nga, yung competency based questions kung competency based sila, and most especially siguro yung kanilang emotional intelligence. Kasi
yes.
they are the ones actually talking with their people. Mahirap yung kung siya mismo ang walang balance ang buhay.
Ako, I'd like to share with you, no? Pagka mayroon akong something that I want to do at talagang nandoon yung drive ko, at first, mag-widow. Titingnan ko lang muna kung kaya ko. Just by myself. So may mga self-help books, tanong-tanong, etc. But I know deep inside, if I want to become good at this venture, at this endeavor, hindi pa pwede akong mag-widow. Tuloy-tuloy. I have to put a stop and take the proper training.
Ay, alam ko ang technical term yan. Alam ko ang technical term.
Okay.
Ang technical term yan, implicit and explicit learning and teaching. Yun, nakuha ko rin yan sa iyo. Yung implicit muna, pero ko talaga, I really, idol talaga kita. You are really greater than myself. Kasi yung sinabi mo lang, I stop to a point kung alam ko na dapat na. Yun ang kulang pipiobet ng mga leaders. Yung sinabi ka ni J-Man, they are not aware eh. Yung para bang, yes, you can do yung talagang implicit muna. You learn from your experience, you learn from the internet, pero there is a time that you need somebody to help. Just like what I do, di ba tinatawagan kita kung hindi ko na kaya? Tinuturuan mo naman ako. That is what I do with, naalala mo of course you know her, si Femery Cabantac. Si Femery, di ba nagtatali-talinuan ako, pero there are times that I have to call her, even on a particular word. Ginagawa kasi dapat mayroon kang explicit eh. Somebody should really teach you and be clear. Diba?
Yes. So bakit mo pahihirapan buhay mo?
Yes,
Parang
yes.
ganito yan, di ba? Lahat tayo na lockdown. So, sino bang marunong ng gawaing bahay? Lalo tayong mga career die hard. Mapalalaki, mapababae. Pero sino magluluto ng food mo? O di widow ka, nood ka ng YouTube, etc. Pero, kailangan you pursue that in the formal way. Ang dami ng online session ngayon.
Ay, Diyos ko, masasabi ko yan sa'yo. Yung aking katulong, nagtatry doon sa YouTube, magluto ng itong, yung alamang. Tapos sabi ni, Berlo, sabi ni Berlo, yung anak yung adapted, sabi ni Berlo, sabi niya, parang may malangsa. So, sinunod naman niya yung YouTube. Ang sabi ko, siguro doon yan sa paggisa. So, yun na nga ang implicit and explicit na kailangan.
Sasabi mo YouTube.
Oh.
So, ako, during my, bago ako matulog, I watch so many YouTubes na dapat natututo ko, natutuwa ako. Minsan pwedeng naaasar ako para lang may matutunan ako. Sometimes I do that. Meron kasing lahat ang dami. That's why you have to curate. You have to be selective. Yung i-validate mo muna, huwag mo munang gayahin. Kung tama yung tema.
So I think, PPO, this is what HR should do. Come up with a program, come up with an event wherein i-make clear niya what are the implicit things that you know now, di ba? And what are the explicit things. Doon yun sa grupo ng mga coach at grupo ng mga mentors. Kasi mahirap nga kung nagpapanggap yung gumagawa nito.
Yes, kaya nga balik ako dun sinabi kong word kanina. You create that web relationships.
Yes. Ay, ito, may sinabi si Gemma yan. Teka muna, can you spot on Gemma? May sinabi rito si Gemma.
Baka may mga comments sila.
Great quality of a leader is humility to admit when we need help. Kasi there is always going to be something we don't know and therefore the need for some continual learning. Ay, Gemma, ako yan talaga. At si Pipi Obet, ganun yan. Kami, we follow the desiderata. They're always greater and lesser people than who we are. Kilala ko, kahit si Pipi Obet. Kung hindi namin kailangan, tumatawag po kami. And then, Gemma, we hope to share this with you and let us have that in our qualities or in our competency. Competency yan eh. For you to admit.
Ako si Gemma. Agree ako doon.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Uy, si Mr. Jerry Plana, nandyan, nakakainis yan si Jerry. Dapat nandito
Ay,
yan.
Tito Jerry!
Oo nga eh.
Ay, talaga, idol natin yan. Alam mo,
Ay,
hindi pa
want ko
tayo
na.
nasa
Hey,
HR.
can we have this? Kasi I want this to be on a Saturday na yung walang gawa. Jerry, can you join the two of us next Saturday? Kasi we continue this. Kasi ito, bitin na naman. Sabi niya, sorry, could not join you there but want to comment that many leaders have not exhibited learning agility during the pandemic. Oh, yeah, we discussed that, PP Obit, have not exhibited learning agility. Their discomfort with hybrid work is an example. Learning agility means being able to be comfortable with discomfort. Uy, ang lalim ni... Ay, talo talaga tayo ni PP Jerry. Librong-libro talaga. Oo. Learning agility means being able to be comfortable with discomfort, being able to thrive in new circumstances. Yes, PP Jerry, nabasa namin yung kay past President Ernie Cecilia na sinabi niya, ang problema daw sa mga hybrid ngayon is the mindset of those doing it. At na-spot on ngayon ni past President Jerry Plana. Di ba? Na yun ang problema. What are your thoughts on this?
Yung hybrid, matagal na ginagamit yan. Di ba? Kasi yun yung tinatawag na how can you become flexible?
Pero nga sinabi nga ni Pipi Jerry, yun nga yung learning agility. It is already there. But there is that parang discomfort. Parang ayaw mo mong i-embrace eh. Hindi ka agile nga.
Simple lang yan. Mindset pa rin yan.
Mindset. Yeah. At I get this from you, na tinuturo ko na rin. Pero yung you really start with your inward and outward, dapat outward, and then later on you think of your growth and fixed mindset. Ang iba siguro fixed pa kasi. Then before you can have the positive mindset. Mindset nga talaga yan. Kasi kung hindi ka naman talaga growth mindset, diba?
Kaya I highly encourage the HR practitioners, no? As much as you can, be also involved in operations, especially during online meetings, Teams meeting, Zoom meetings, StreamYard meetings, because the HR practitioner can easily sense, set up a radar, what's happening out there. No, kasi kahit sabihin wala namang HR factor dyan, no, meron. Who will drive?
Yan yung sinasabi na, again, we engage PP Jerry. Yung sinasabi PP Obet na, you break the silos, one. Yes. And then you immerse yourself. Yung, para bang, this is not the time na magsasabi, ay, bahala dyan yung marketing, bahala dyan yung operation. This is not the time. This is not the time.
Alam mo, kinakailangan din tumawid ka eh. You cross beyond the line of HR function. Kasi at the end of the line, tao pa rin yan eh. Sino bang nangangalaga sa tao? O the HR department, HR practitioner. Diba?
Again, magsasabi naman tayo, this has been I was still a student. Di ba the Baldridge, a balance scorecard? Ngayon ko lang naintindihan na it's people, then it's customer, then it's operations and finance. People talaga. Dapat talaga dapat mauna muna yung tao.
Totoo yan. Pero, hindi profit, people first.
Yeah. So ang makikita mo diyan is that one of nandiyan na yung ang unang nasa top of mind is the vaccination, is the health, pero hindi yan eh. It's actually the growth, it's actually the experience. Ito nakuha ko na kay Mr. Nick Lim at kay
Mr. Nick Lim, sa payan dapat maging guest mo dito. Talagang siksik-liglig at tagu-umapaw, hindi lang katalino.
Kay Orbeta, kay JP. Nasabi na it's the experience. Alam mo, dapat ang isipin muna natin, it's how the experience. May nakita ko sa group chat ng PMAP, nagtatanong kung for those na nagbibigay ng vaccine, should it be daw compensable or should it be para bang mo ng leave? Diba? So mga ganung tanong.
Nakita ko yan.
Wag na natin sagutin dito. Basta kung sabi ko, it has to be, as advised by Dole, it has to be paid leave. Can we spot on Jerry? Can we spot on PP Jerry? Kasi ito, nag-join si PP Jerry. Leading remote workers is a new skill that every manager should learn. We should move
Agree.
forward rather than backward and return to the always just because they are with the manager's comfort zone.
O, yun
Agree.
sinasabi ko sa iyo kanina, di ba?
Yes. Yes. Oo.
Agree ako dyan, PP Jerry.
Yes. Oh, so yun na nga is dapat we have to embrace that change, and we really have to quickly be agile in changing our mindsets. Okay. Oy, teka muna. Si Pipi Michelle Cordero Garcia at si
Hello,
Chino
Pipi
are
Michelle.
nakita ko. Yes, hello.
O si
Ayun.
PP Michelle, tanungin mo.
Ayun nga, what we're discussing here, Michelle, is actually what HR should do and learn. What should leaders in HR should do now that we are on the lockdown. So nag-umpisa kami nga, dapat maging spiritual ka, personality, then you have to reach out yung network mo, and then relationship, and then communication. And then nandito na kami doon sa, specifically sa mentoring and coaching. Ayun. So yun. So, Ma'am Michelle, later on, sa next Saturday, isama natin si Ma'am Michelle. Sigurado.
Oo, masaya. Tsaka
Si Jerry, ikaw at si Ma'am Michelle, we can still be accommodated. So, let us continue. So, yun nga. So, top of mind ang iniisip kagad ng HR is sa safety. Ang sunod, ano pa ang sunod niya? So, we only have around 5 minutes, 10 minutes to go. So, okay na yung pag-vaccine, okay na yung safety. Uy, by the way, narinig ko pala, hindi pala maganda naglalagay-lagay ng mga plastic. Yung mga separator, hindi daw maganda. Anyway, so after that PP audit, ano dapat ang gawin? Kasi the core functions of HR should not be actually left behind. Sa tingin mo, what are your thoughts? And then we ask Jerry here and then Michelle. We are 4 past presidents of PMAP here.
Ay nako, yung tanong mo, mahaba-habang usapan yan, no?
Sige, umpisahan mo, tapos sa sunod. Kung may oras ka sa Tuesday, i-continue natin.
After the vaccination, ha?
Wow, kasi if you ask an HR personnel, ang unang sasagutin, of course, is OS, Occupational Safety and Health. At tinutugunan yan. Di ba? Tinutugunan na nga yan na kung dapat mong bayaran o hindi mo bayaran o dapat ba lahat o ikaw ba bumibili. Ang iba kasi may mayaman, bumibili ng vaccine eh. O kung hindi, you coordinate with the LGU, di ba? Or ikaw ba ay namimiss ko si Ide rin eh. Ikaw yung isa-separate mo ba yan? Isa-segregate? Mag-discriminate ka na doon may mga bubble ka sa loob na ito lang yung mga naka-vaccinated, ang pera dito sa room, ganon. So, nandun na tayo. We have guidelines on that. What will be the other core functions that they should do?
Kailangan dyan eh. Tingnan na natin ngayon what must be instituted not because there is pandemic. No? Ano yung dapat ngayon ang i-challenge natin in the way we are doing things that we have to recalibrate, redefine, reset, rethink, retool, redeploy, strategize, and do the appropriate re-engineering depending on the established needs of each and every employee vis-a-vis to the needs and evolving requirements of the business given the current situation.
Ang tali-talino mo talaga, idol. Ang tali-talino mo na, idol. So, in other words, kunon, maganda kung mayroon ka. Yung kung mayroon ka na, say, mayroon ka ng mentoring, coaching, mayroon ka ng competency-based, mayroon ka ng HRIS, then you have to review it. Di ba? Ganun ba yun? Parang i-upgrade mo. Okay. Kung wala, dapat magka-catch up ka kasi titingnan mo kung what are the needs in the future. Yes. So dapat ang tawag niyan siguro is review. Ay kailangan natin si PP Obet niya, si PP Jerry niyan, yung IIP. Tulungan tayo mag-review.
Alam mo yan, you now go back to the drawing board and challenge the status quo. Oo. Kasi baka hindi na akmayan sa panahon. Diba?
Okay. Alam, napukaw natin si Muse, si Michelle Cordero.
Oh,
Can you
yes,
spot
sige,
on
sige.
Michelle?
For sure eh.
Okay. Can you spot on Michelle before we end up?
Yun, no?
Important. HR must be comfortable learning on the fly. Make employees total well-being. Totoo nga. Totoo. Spot on ito. A priority. Well-being nga. HR role now is to convene and be the connector to build communities, influence the evolution of the new era of workplace. Ay, Michelle, mag-attend ka talaga kasi nag-coin ako niyan. Ang tawag ko niyan is the novel producer. HR must also continuously partner with leaders on how to operate with deeper purpose, kindness, and agility to achieve business outcomes. Allow me to repeat I'll repeat it derecho. HR must be comfortable learning on the fly, make employees' total well-being a priority. HR's role now is to convene and be the connector to build communities, influence the evolution of new era of workplace. HR must continuously partner with leaders on how to operate with deeper purpose, kindness, and agility to achieve business outcomes. I miss you, Michelle. Kagaling-galing. Kagaling-galing talaga.
Magaling talaga yan.
Kagaling-galing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will share this for those who are going to watch this. Get the thoughts from Miss Vice President Michelle Garcia. And from that, siguro pwede mag-umpisa doon. Alam mo, tugmang-tugma sa first statements mo, PP Obet. Kasi nandun yung agility, kindness, di ba? Nandun yung kindness, communication, nandun eh. Nandun. And achieve the business outcome. The deeper purpose. The deeper purpose. The deeper purpose.
Yun talaga, knowing the deeper purpose and not simply a purpose will really define and set the tone of why you are doing and not the what, the how, the when, and the where.
Yeah, para bang bakit ako nandito pa sa isang kumpanya na nahihirapan ako but I am really yung para bang aligning yourself your personal mission to the mission of the company. And it is not actually yung profit na. Right, nako, may pahabol si Mr. Jerry Plana.
Sige, maganda yan.
Yeah. One specific action we can undertake is to review our leadership competencies. Tumpak. Ay, talagang tayong apat mag-meet sa Saturday, sa next Saturday. We should add or redefine our definitions of our leadership competencies. They should include promoting agility, well-being, and transformation competencies. Yan po siguro, Mr. Plana, ang dapat ituro kasi mukhang mga matitigas ang ulo ng mga nakaupo. That's a joke. Pero that is the thing. I will repeat.
PPJC, ito, importante to. Alam ng lahat ng HR practitioner nito. You cannot effect the right change in any organization regardless of the size if the change will not be role modeled by the people up there.
Oo.
Kaya sabi mo nga, dapat i-train muna, baguhin muna yung mindset ng mga nasa taas.
Yeah. Very nice. For this episode, yan talaga ang conclusion is, yan, i-train muna at ang mindset ng nasa taas. Parang lima tayo niyan si Vice President Michelle Garcia, ang ating news ngayon, si PP Jerry Plana na mas matalino sa ating dalawa, ikaw na idol ko at mentor ko, di ba? At si PP Ernie Cecilia, nabasa ko, at ako, lima na tayo.
Tayo mo din yan.
Oo. They should include, promote agility, sabi ni PP Jerry, well-being and transformation competencies. Medyo yan ang...
Alam mo, in addition to the agility, may dalawa pa tayong dapat na ikabit dyan, no? You cannot have agility if you don't have this salt and pepper, so to speak. Ano tong salt and pepper? Resilience and tenacity.
Ang lalim mo naman. Resilience and tenacity. Yes.
That is the salt and pepper of agility.
Yes. Dapat yun nga eh. Pero dapat na experience. So, mahirap nga talaga kung ikaw yung naging leader na hindi mo na experience kasi resilience dapat talaga yun eh. Holistic yun,
Oo,
experience mo
di
yun.
ba? Paano
Yes.
ka magiging agile leader? Eh kung hindi mo pinagdaanan yung how to become resilient.
Oo.
And resiliency is not yesterday. It's happening every day and tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
parang bangka yan. Ang agility yung bangka, ang
Ano
cutting,
yung sinabi mong isa?
ang
Resilience
cutting,
and PPO, bet resilience
tenacity.
and ano and
Tenacity.
tenacity. Yes,
Yung
tenacity.
bangka, inggit na agility. Yung cutting mo, kanan kaliwa, yan yung resilience tsaka tenacity. Kung paano mo
Yan.
imamaneuver yan.
Ang sabi niya ni Ulrich is navigating the paradoxes. You balance the
Ayun.
paradoxes.
Kasi hindi ako si Ulrich eh. Yun lang alam ko, bangka. Ngayon, ang bawat isa sa atin, may kanya-kanyang bangka. Hindi tayo nasa isang bangka.
Alam mo, we end in a lighter note. Alam mo, gusto ko sanang makita si Pipi Michelle Garcia kasi mahaba na ang buhok niya ngayon eh.
Oo naman, nakita ko, danda-danda.
Oo, ganda-ganda niya talaga.
Sana all umahaba buhok.
Oo. Oh, ito.
Sana all umahaba buhok.
Okay, siguro magagalit na kasi it's 109. Mayroon sinasabi, overtime na po. Thank you very much.
Baka may comment dyan. May dagdag
Okay,
na
wala na. Thank you very much, PP Obet, for
It's my pleasure.
we continue our conversation sa Tuesdays and sa Thursdays, but definitely next Saturday I will invite you, PP Jerry, and PP Michelle, and I will try to reach out to Mr. Ernie Cecilia so that we can have a very light lang. Ganyan ang usapan natin. Malalim na usapan, pero in a very comfortable and light way. Ganun din kami niya ni, baka hindi mo alam, ganun din kami ni Jerry Planan yan. Kung nakikita mo kami kung nakikita mo kami sa mga GMM at mga mga conferences na nasa likod, ay, nagkikwentuhan kami niyan.
Oo naman ano natin yan katropa din natin yan
And then of course,
nung PIMA president siya, nung sa Cebu, PIMA conference natin.
yes.
Sabi ko nga sa kanya, for the first time in my conference live, ang PIMA president parating kausap ko for 4 consecutive nights. At ano mo, sino yun? Si PP Jerry, bago matulog yan.
Okay, I will tell you something that this is very personal. You know what I really like in our relationship? Sa'yo rin, ginagawa mo. At kay Michelle din. Yung every after siya magsalita, lumalapit yan sa akin si PP Jerry at magsabi.
Yan, ganyan siya.
Oh, yun ang sinasabi ni Jemay. A great leader kasi there is what you call humility. There is what you call humility. Kaya friend ko yan eh. Diba? Sabi ng lola ko, dapat choose your friends. si Pipi Michelle naman ganun din eh. Ganun din si Pipi Michelle eh. Kung saan kami nag-meet yan and then she will really embrace me and tell me things na, nakurot ng puso. Well, anyway, overtime na po. Thank you very much. So there goes
Thank you
ladies.
very much also.
Yeah.
Stay safe and healthy, and I pray for you, your team, and everyone here in HR Hotline.
Okay. Thank you, PPO. But there goes
I love you. Love you guys.
There goes, ladies and gentlemen. Those are really my friends, and these are actually friends of mine in the PMAP. That's the Philippine Management Association of the Philippines, and I'm so proud and privileged. Just imagine, past President Jerry Plana, past President our muse, Michelle Cordero Garcia. She's actually a greater person than myself, and of course, my dear friend and idol and mentor, PPO. But I know you just read between. Listen between the lines of what we say. There are nuggets of wisdom of our conversation. So yun po, ladies and gentlemen, we're still on the topic what we should do while we are on the lockdown. And I'm very sure take heed and start doing something now. Not for you and for your organization. Diyos mabalos po. Si Jessie po, Rebustillo ito.